Welcome to today's show. Tucson Luxe Living features exceptional products and services for the area's top consumers, bringing together high-end real estate, business, money, and lifestyle. I'm your host, Alicia Kramer, local realtor supporting the area's business professionals with their personal real estate needs. And today's guest is Rebecca Kososkie. She is with the Marana Chamber of Commerce, and I am so excited to have you here. We are going to talk about all of the very cool things that our chamber does that not all chambers do. So welcome to the show, Rebecca.
Thank you so much. I'm Rebecca Kososkie. I'm the Executive Vice President, Marana Chamber of Commerce, Business Development and Membership. So we are super excited that we have just moved into our brand new chamber offices. We're at 13251 North Lon Adams Road, and that's in Marana 85653. So this is a 5,000 square foot building. And we also just got the official designation of State Visitor Center. So what does this mean for our community and our members? It means that, one, we're going to have a whole lot more people coming into the chamber offices to check out the members' business cards, brochures, etc. We have tripled our 2019 attendance of visitors even through COVID into 2021 and beyond. So it's very exciting. Another thing that's fun about that is that we've had a whole lot of people that never really noticed the Chamber of Commerce or the Visitor Center that are local. And they're coming to us now for resources on who to use for their builders, their hairdressers, their all of the services and needs that they need. So that's been a very exciting, as well as, hey, where do I take my visitors that are finally coming to my house to visit out of state? So that's been great for our local attractions, and I see that only increasing in the future. So we're very excited about that. We are, as I was talking to Alicia, we are not your grandpa's chamber. We are known to be thinking out of the box and creating solutions, not just holding our heads in our head in our hands and say, what can we do because business is down or up or whatever. So we love to create some positive solutions. As part of that, we started a Focus on Recovery focus group during the start of COVID. And that is going to continue because we have learned so much about our members through this focus group. It is a multi-industry from huge insurance corporate companies to mom and pops. So we started it for learning best practices, challenges, helping each other out. So what we discovered through this was that our employers were really needing some help and resources to help them retain, train, attract, and engage new and previous employees. So that's been a real challenge for our members. We then conducted a survey so that we could kind of get a really more detailed bead on that. And it was something they really needed. So one of our solutions was that one of our expert members, Alexis with Two Busy Gals, is doing a quarterly lunch and learn. Just on that, our very first one is employee recruiting, retaining, and engaging. These are some issues that started pre-COVID because we had a lot of employers that were saying, oh, these millennials, these X and Y generation, they think differently. We don't know what we can do with them. They don't care about the job. And as it turns out, they really do. They are more interested in having a job that has purpose. So building that out, making their job meaningful is very important, but it really is for most people. I don't think it's a new thing.
No, it's not, but it's a valuable skill. And it's interesting that you mentioned that, because I've heard that it really has become a lot more challenging, especially with COVID, to fill a lot of these positions. I've heard it not only in entry level jobs, but in our medical communities. A shortage of doctors, a shortage of nurses, skilled trades. There's really this kind of overarching issue across the board. And I think that you made a very valid point. People do need more meaning, and different generations have different priorities. And there's nothing taboo about that, generational changes. It's not just going and getting a factory job that you're going to have for the next, however many years until you retire and then have your 401k. Times are changing.
Gold watch.
Times are changing, and you have to be able to adapt to meet the needs of good quality employees, not just in the COVID era, but I think we're just going to see that is a trend in the direction of business in general.
Yes, and I think the businesses that are going to thrive are going to be the ones that are having they're listening to what's going on and are reacting in a positive way. And thank you for bringing me a segue for Health and Wellness Committee, because early on in 2016, one of our members, Bayada Nursing, had brought to us that there was such a shortage of healthcare workers, people in the healthcare fields. And so at that time, we started, through our Health and Wellness Committee, we started a annual health career scholarship fund. So that has been very exciting. And gosh, trying to read all of those people that apply and their personal stories, it's really inspiring and a little tear jerky on some of them, but you really realize what a difference this can make in their lives and people that are needing healthcare. So we are in our 5th year with that scholarship fund. We always feature them at our annual health and wellness luncheon, which is another one of our 5 themes that we have at the chamber. So it's great, they get the giant checks and everything, but it's always great too, because we try to bring some previous winners back to kind of tell their story of how that has helped them and what they're doing in school. So that's another heartwarming story. So
love that. You do a lot for the community. You do a lot for the members who are obviously business owners. And you had mentioned that there are sort of these themes. So can you tell us what are those themes?
Sure. Our first one we usually have in January is education. We bring together our local school systems, Pima Community College, JTED, U of A. So we have higher, mid, and we're hoping to add preschool to that, so that we can learn what's going on, trends, and what we should be prepared for our community. We have our economic development. That's usually in March. We get some amazing speakers at that. And one of our speakers at the last one was Dr. George Hammond from U of A, talking about the impacts, or focusing on what's coming up as far as our trends for what we need. And that's going to be just some amazing content on that. And all of our, we have podcasts or videos on all of our at maranachamber.com. So if you wanted to go check out some of those amazing information, and anybody that's in real estate should really, really take a look at those, because you kind of get to know what's going on in Marana. And I'm going to, later, I'm going to mention our Marana Insights, but I will move on to our health and wellness luncheon, which is our third. We also have workforce development, which is, again, one of our really important themes because the future is with our youth. And we also have our transportation, because if we can't get around, we can't do business. So that's our fifth theme on that. We also have, as I was working on mentioning the workforce development, we have a Marana Young Professionals group that is just now getting that started. So keep an eye on maranachamber.com for some events, for mixers, and some educational opportunities for our young professionals there that will work with workforce development. Education fits into pretty much all of those themes. And then I'm also going to mention our monthly our fourth Wednesday of each month. We have a live and live on Facebook as well. Marana Insights, which features our economic development director for the town, Kurt Whitty. And he speaks to just the previous month, housing stats, businesses coming to town, infrastructure changes, just a whole lot of what's happening in Marana. So if you want an inside scoop, that's a great place to get it every month. So just go to maranachamber.com and check out our Facebook page and like our Facebook page. And so that's another monthly thing that we do. Where was I going to go? Oh, I wanted to bring up that we also have the only Chamber of Commerce in Arizona that has a film committee. So that was started to help our local craft and film experts keep jobs in Arizona and Southern Arizona. And it also led to our winning a governor's grant that was put forth through Ducey for Chambers of Commerce to help disadvantaged small businesses. So we won that. So we have started our bi-monthly podcasts when we are in the midst of installing our recording studio. That recording studio will be available for all of our members to create their own videos or blogs or podcasts at no charge to them.
That's an amazing value.
So these, they can then own this and they can put that on any platform they wish, which would also include some of our media partners that are offering discounts for their online version. And also that includes some discounted expert advice from our experts on the film committee, like anything from videography to voiceovers. So we have a whole lot of talent at the Marana Chamber of Commerce. So also we worked into that governor's grant, some workforce development. So we included in there paid internships for Pima County JTED. That's a high school level students going into technical careers. So we're very excited about that. And we also work with Pima Community College on that as well, because they have a lot of newly expanded tech park. U of A, which obviously has huge tech park, and then JTED. So there's just some great stuff going on in our community. And I also might want to mention that you do not have to be in Marana physically to be in the Marana Chamber of Commerce. You just have to be in the fastest growing town in Southern Arizona, the town of Marana, who's now at about 56,000. So that it does not hurt, and probably one of the only new home available markets in Southern Arizona.
We have, yes. And there is new construction happening in certain parts of Southern Tucson, a couple in Tucson, a little bit in Oro Valley, but the majority we see is certainly in Marana, and we're seeing that expand north and just drawing in a lot of new people. And it's, it's great. It's a great area.
It is. And I think another thing is people do not understand how big Marana is physically. It's
physically very
126 square miles, and that may have added a few in the last few months. So don't 100% quote me. It's at least that big. And that includes the area south of Orange Grove and Thornydale, at the Sprouts Market and the Guitar Center, and the Costco, and all of that entire area. On the east includes Dove Mountain, includes the Thornydale and Tangerine, the Fries and area up there, as well as what traditionally we called North Marana, which was off the Marana exit at 236. So the whole Gladden Farms, our Civic Center, our new chamber office. So it's huge. It's still growing. There's room and space to do a lot of infill here with new properties, and good luck finding existing homes.
There's not a lot of inventory on the market currently at the time of this recording. At the time of this recording, yes.
So that's not 100% evergreen, but
I'd love for you to talk a little bit about the art at the visitor center.
Awesome. Well, as I mentioned, we opened a 5,000 square foot new offices and stared at a whole bunch of blank walls and said, this looks kind of cold and not too welcoming. So we got the idea that we wanted to share our space with local artists. So we have a revolving couple of artists that will be in and out, not the same revolving artists. We are also including kind of an author's corner. So we're doing authors book signings. We just had our most recent was The Accident. Whoops, I'm reading this wrong direction.
There you go.
By Gail Petrillo. But we will have all of these books at our chamber as well. And part of how this arts came about was because since I look at all of the business licenses that are moving to Marana each month, I was noticing a monstrous trend that was kind of hard to not see, and that was that 70% of our new business licenses were home-based businesses. Some of this came about because of COVID, because people were laid off or whatever, but their circumstances. But a lot of people just said, maybe this is the time to try that business I always wanted to start. And they're being very successful with those. We are having home-based mixers, home-based business mixers, which are open to anyone that is a home-based business either in Marana or outside of Marana, or perhaps the home-based business is their target market that they want to meet and greet.
We'll just let everybody know that there's a little cut shot there because my office crashed by my daughter. That is one of the advantages of having a home-based business.
There you go.
All right, so we talked about the art at the visitor center, and we talked about the incredible opportunity with the recording studio, which I think is just fantastic to offer that, especially for free to members of the chamber. So let me know now, what did we miss? Because I feel like we may have missed a couple things, because I know that there are a lot of amazing things happening through the chamber.
Well, it's kind of hard to get it encompassed in a 40-minute piece. So we do have a whole lot of committees and focus groups that are part of our chamber, and these are really engaged groups of people. It is, again, we are not your grandpa's chamber committees either. These are happening, listening to what's going on currently. We have our economic development committee is terrific, and Kurt Whitty, as I mentioned earlier, is always a part of that, or we hope that he's part of it. But I just want to thank too all of these committee and focus group chairs and members for basically they're volunteering their time. So, but the point is that we have honed into these interests well enough so that this is a complement to their business, and that they can reach other people that have the same interests as them, which will make natural strategic partners that you don't have to work at to put together. So, for instance, on our health and wellness committee, we have Northwest Healthcare, Carondelet, Marana Health Center, local Marana Chamber members. Our chair is Dr. Monica Fowler Chiropractic. So these are some just vibrant committees that are passionate about their interests. So I would highly recommend anyone that's interested take a look at all of these available on our About Us on maranachamber.com. I'm trying to think who I've left off on that. There's several. We do have a special events group that's our special programs. We're doing our green event that had to get postponed because of the world, but hope to bring that back at some point. But we are doing our golf tournament. That's an annual event. We give back to our Veterans Committee, which is another committee through that. So that's another vibrant group that also helps to put on Veterans Resource Fairs. We've got, let me see, who am I missing?
There's a lot. We'll just say
there's a lot going on.
And as somebody's watching this a year or 2 years later, there may very well be more. So
Indeed. So some of those focus groups may be bumped up to committees, because basically with a focus group, they do kind of one activity per year. So that also helps define how much time it takes for those volunteers that are on that committee or a focus group. So we've tried to respect our members' time and time commitments, because if you're in business, and even home-based business, in particular home-based business, the beginning of the day is not, and the end is not the same thing for many, many businesses. So, anyway, we try to respect that, but still make it worth their while, because that will help their return on their investments for being a chamber member. So that's very helpful for everybody.
Yes.
We want all of our businesses to succeed. That's the whole idea between a Chamber of Commerce, is that we help promote our businesses.
So now for people who are listening who are not members of the chamber, where would you send them to learn about the chamber? You mentioned the website. What is the procedure that you would recommend for them to get signed up, to contact somebody if they have questions? If you could just share that information with us, that'd be great.
Sure. Well, they can always give me a call. I am pretty much open 24/7 at 520-331-2367. They could call the chamber at 682-4314. That's 520-682-4314. If they want some more information, my email is very long because I have a very long first and last name. But if they want to send it to info@maranachamber.com, Tammy, who is our everything person there, wears multiple hats, executive assistant at all. So anyway, she'd be happy to forward that to me. But we would love to have you get involved, learn about our events. We do a monthly networking breakfast, which we are open to live now. And that's been very popular in the past. And pre-COVID, we were averaging over 100 people at each one. So it's a really good place. We trade out venues for our Fourth Tuesday Mixer, which is another thing we do. Our Fourth Tuesday Mixer is monthly, and that we were about 120, 130 people on those from various walks of life. And if anybody's interested in checking that out, that's not a chamber member and wants to come as my guest, they're welcome to give me a call, email, let Tammy know. And it's Tammy, Tammie. So anyway, those are our regular events. We have the Marana Insights I mentioned. So we have annual events and our annual meeting, golf tournaments. We have our State of the Town, which we have up at that little place called the Ritz-Carlton. If you haven't been there, wowza. It has been named the top #1 hotel and salon resort recently, and I think it's going to continue. And that's ranked internationally #1. So not a bad little place for us to have here in Marana.
Not too bad.
So
well, I'd like to take a moment and just let you collect your thoughts and then leave us with any parting thoughts before we wrap up.
right. Thank you.
So anything that you would like to say in closing before we finalize our episode for today?
I just think there's too many things for me to cover because we are not stayed. We are in movement all the time, creating solutions for our members. And so check out our website. We have an award-winning website. We have, check out the directory on the website for our members. We have also an amazing landing page and search engine optimization that is amazingly huge and valued for our members. So it is set up so you don't have to even go to the Marana Chamber to get found. If you have the right keywords that you're putting in there, it will wind up at the Marana Chamber on your landing page there. And depending on your level, you can add pictures and videos and linked URLs, and it's not a stayed thing. We are, once again, not your grandpa's chamber.
There's your tagline. Well, I want to thank you, Rebecca, for sharing so much valuable information. I like that we're able to bring you on and get a little bit of additional exposure. I think what you guys are doing at our chamber is terrific. I've been in other chambers over my many years of being in business, and I have to say it's certainly the most innovative chamber that I've personally been a part of. And I do think that it is incredibly valuable for any business owner here in the greater Tucson area to give serious consideration to. So with that, thank you again. And thank you to everybody who has tuned in and spent their time with us today. Again, I am your host, Alicia Kramer, and I really encourage you to make sure that you subscribe for more great episodes with amazing guests. So thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, everyone. Have a terrific day.
So our welcome. So we're trying to keep that open as best as we can and help promote them. Hello.
Oh, hold on. We're gonna have to edit for the first time ever. Somebody let Oriana come in.
Hi, Oriana.
Go by daddy. Please. I'm going to remove her. All right. There's a first time for everything.